Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Thursday, February 17th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate. Is a 5-game slate overall. Then going over my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get into it with the recap of yesterday's picks. So initially we had Tyus Jones down at point guard on both sides. Obviously ended up swapping off of him once we did get the news that John Morant was going to play last night. So I did switch to Jalen Green on both sides, but we're going to start off with the DraftKings side. Jalen Green was $4,800. He got to 24 points, which is exactly what we were looking for out of him, so he was a hit. If you switch to somebody else in that same price range, like maybe a Trey Mann, probably did pretty good as well. Then at shooting guard, we had Seth Curry, $5,700, looking for 29 points on him. He got to 34.25, so he was a hit. Then we had Justice Winslow, $6,000, looking for 30 points on him. He got to 31.75, so he was a hit as well. We had Jalen Smith, who was looking pretty good after Goga Batazzi got ruled out yesterday. I believe Tristan Thompson ended up starting in that game as well, but Jalen Smith at $3,900, looking for 20 points on him. He got to 18.75, so I gave him a push yesterday right up against that 19-point threshold we were kind of looking for. And then lastly, at center was kind of the most disappointing guy on the DraftKings side with Darius Bazley. $6,500, had been playing very well. Looking for 33 points on him. He got to 10.75. He was a miss. Played 28 minutes, 1 for 6 shooting from the field. Just not a good day by any means. Andre Drummond was somebody I kind of looked at as well. I had him in a couple different lineups too, so if you had him, probably would have done even better yesterday. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Jalen Green once again as the replacement for Tyus Jones. $4,500, looking for 23 points on him. He got to 22.9, so he was a hit. Then we had Seth Curry once again, $5,700, looking for 29 points on him. Got to 31.2 on the FanDuel side, so he was a hit as well. Then a small forward, we had Buddy Hield, $6,000, looking for 30 points on him and got to 33.5, so he was a hit as well. Then once again, we still had Darius Bazley floating around here, $7,100, looking for 36 points on him. He had 3 games of 40 points right before this, had been playing really well, but he was a mess yesterday at 9.6. 28 minutes, 1 for 6 shooting from the field. As I already mentioned on the DraftKings side, a very poor day for him overall. Then at center, you had Joseph Nurkic, $7,600, looking for 38 points out. He got to 52.6, so he was a really good hit yesterday as well. If you were able to squeeze Sengun in, who I kind of mentioned as in play on both sides, he had a very good game as well. But 4 out of 5 on both FanDuel and DraftKings, 8 out of 10 overall in the day. The one lone miss that we did have is that Darius Bazley miss, which was just really unfortunate yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries in play for tonight's slate. So once again, it is a 5-game slate. We have one game starting right at 7 o'clock, and that is the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets. So the Miami Heat are without Dwayne Dedmon, Tyler Hero, Markieff Morris, and Victor Oladipo. Jimmy Butler, Udonis Haslem, and Caleb Martin, all this is questionable. Obviously, the biggest name there is Jimmy Butler, seeing whether or not he's going to play, but he did end up playing the last time, so I do assume that he will play once again tonight. For the Charlotte Hornets, they're without Gordon Hayward, Cody Martin, and Jalen McDaniels once again, so no changes there. Moving over to the 7:30 game, we have the Washington Wizards, who are without Kristaps Porzingis, and then Daniel Gafford, Rui Hachimura, both questionable to play. Obviously, Gafford's been out for a little while, and Hachimura ended up missing last night. We'll see if they end up playing tonight or not. If I had to guess, I'd say they both get ruled out just because we were on the verge of the All-Star break. Just give them a couple extra days to rest and get ready for the post-All-Star break run. Then on the opposite side of the game, we had the Brooklyn Nets, who were without Kevin Durant, Joe Harris, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons, so the exact same thing that we saw last night. I wouldn't be surprised if the Nets rule a couple guys out on the back-to-back here, especially before the All-Star break, just to give some of the veteran guys a little bit extra rest. That would not be a surprise to me at all. Then we move over to the Dallas Mavericks, who are without Marquise Chris, Tim Hardaway, and Teo Penson. And then Reggie Bullock, Trey Burke, and Frank Ntilikina are all questionable to play, so we'll see how that all shakes out throughout the rest of the day. Then for the Pelicans, just Larry Nance, Zion Williamson out once again, so no changes there. Moving down to the Philadelphia 76ers, they're without James Harden once again. He'll be back after the All-Star break. Jaden Springer is also out tonight, who really isn't in the rotation either way, though. And then for the Milwaukee Bucks, they are without Pat Connaughton, George Hill, and Brook Lopez. Grayson Allen is doubtful to play. Wesley Matthews is probable after missing the last time out. So we'll see if Wesley Matthews enters that starting lineup or if it's somebody else. If he's not able to go, we're probably going to look at some Jordan Nwora. We're probably going to see some Lendell Wigginton getting some minutes tonight. So there could be a little bit of value there. Then we move down to the Houston Rockets, who are without John Wall and Usman Garuba. Kevin Porter and Christian Wood both ended up missing last night. They are both questionable to play tonight. I believe both of them are dealing with an illness at this point in time. Then for the Clippers, just the same 4 guys out, and Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell, and Jason Preston. So no changes there by any means. But that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. Not too much that we're looking for. Obviously, Kevin Porter and Christian Wood could make a big difference on tonight's slate. We did see Dennis Schroeder and Sengun have very good games last night. But those two and Jimmy Butler are probably the biggest ones on tonight's slate overall. We'll see if anything else pops up throughout the day, though. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position. We got Luke Kennard at $3,200, a very, very cheap price tag. He was banged up, missed a couple games, came back last time out, played 24 minutes, had 24 fantasy points. At $3,200, you're only looking for 16 fantasy points out of him. He's averaging about 22 on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 18. Definitely has some upside for more, which makes him a great play on tonight's slate overall. Then at shooting guard, we have Seth Curry once again, $5,500, so he's actually cheaper than he was yesterday, looking for 27, 28 points out of him, essentially what he's averaging on the season. Haven't projected for 30 points tonight, has a little bit of upside for more as well. Then at small forward, going back to Denny Advia, $4,500, looking for 22, 23 points out of him. He's been playing bigger minutes, he's been playing very well. Currently, I'm projected for 25 points, but has some upside for more as well. Then at power forward, going with James Johnson, so he ended up starting last night. Assume he starts once again tonight. He's $3,600, looking for 18 points out. Currently, I'm projected for 20 points. Has a little bit upside for more. We seen last night him get over 30 points, so definitely a good pay down option and a very good value overall on tonight's slate. Then at center, we're going with his teammate Andre Drummond, $6,000. Got the start once again last night. Only played 22 minutes. LaMarcus Aldridge closed out that game and played pretty well. But Andre Drummond had 19 rebounds in 22 minutes too, so he's doing Andre Drummond things. He's a guy that even if he only gets 22 minutes, he could still pay off at this price tag of $6,000. Currently, I'm projected for 30 points, but offers a little bit of upside for more as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the DraftKings side, you have $27,200 remaining, just under $9,100 per player. So you can definitely pay up for a stud, maybe even 2 studs tonight. I don't think you can pay up for Luka and Giannis together, but if you want to pay up for Giannis and Joel Embiid, you could probably squeeze in a really cheap option there as well. Otherwise, we got guys like LaMelo Ball, they're up there as well. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, you can definitely do that. If you want to pay up for a pricier player over one of the 5 guys here, that's definitely something that's available as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with LaMelo Ball, $8,800, looking for 44 points out of him, averaging about 42.5 on the season. Has shown some upside in games this year, has some downside as well. You know, if he can keep his hands to himself, which I don't think is going to be a major issue against Kyle Lowry tonight, he's probably going to do pretty well. So currently I'm projected for 44, 45 points. Definitely paying off at that price tag tonight. Then at shooting guard, we have Seth Curry, $6,000, looking for 30 points out of him. Been doing very, very solid since he's been on the Brooklyn Nets. Currently I'm projected for 30 points myself tonight as well. Small forward, this is kind of where it gets a little bit tricky. I went with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Obviously had a big game last night. I'm not expecting that once again, but $4,200, looking for 21 points down. Currently, I'm projected for 22 points tonight. Then we move down to power forward with his teammate Kyle Kuzma, who's been playing very well once again. $7,700, looking for 38, 39 points down. Currently, I'm projected for 40, 41 points tonight. Definitely offers some upside for more. I don't think this is a game that they're going to get completely blown out by the Nets or anything like that, so Kyle Kuzma is going to look like a very good option once again tonight. Then at the center position, I got Jonas Valanciunas. Not a guy that I'm a major fan of lately, but $6,400 dirt cheap price tag, looking for 32 points out. Currently, I'm projected for 33 points tonight. If you want to pay up at center, you can always pay up for Joel Embiid. That's something that's very viable on tonight's slate once again as well. But with that being said, if you go to these 5 players on the FanDuel side, you have $26,900 remaining, just over $6,700 per player. Maybe you can pay up for one other player and then find some dirt cheap values to go along with the core 5 that I do have listed here. Or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely something that could work out on the FanDuel side for tonight's slate. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, February 17th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. Heck, if you want to talk a little bit of Super Draft, always down to talk some Super Draft as well. JC Money Design and myself will be going live right around 5 o'clock Central Time over on his channel to talk about the Super Draft main slate for NBA DFS. So if you're interested in Super Draft, if you're interested in learning more about Super Draft or NBA DFS on Super Draft, definitely be sure to check out that stream as well. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups down in the comments below throughout the day, as well as my updated core, probably about a half hour before locks. So definitely make sure you're checking back in as we get closer to locks so you have as much news available to you as possible. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at CoachCraigSports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL. Mainly going to be NBA at this point in time because NFL is not starting back up for a little while. Helping you with your fantasy football teams, which at this point in time is going to be talking a little bit of Dynasty. You're going to be talking a little bit of NFL draft prospects, some NFL news, as well as some NBA news here and there. Obviously, the NBA All-Star Game is coming up, so not going to have DFS for a couple days here because of the NBA All-Star Game. If you want to play the NBA All-Star Game DFS, you're more than welcome to do that, but Not something I like betting on personally myself, just because you can't really predict things as much in the All-Star game itself. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. And like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me. And I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.